Next on News 8.
Today's thaw puts hundreds of stranded truckers back on the road.
But thousands of people are still without power 2 days after the storm.
The weather looks nice. There's no snow in the forecast and warmer temperatures.
And in sports, we'll see how snapshots and jump shots have come together from one Northeastern State women's basketball player.
The snow is melting, but drivers will have more potholes to contend with.
And is the winter weather chilling your bones? Try a pair of high-tech long johns. All next on News 8.
The brown bag lunch has been with us since the dawn of civilization. Through the ages, man has made improvements in the bag.
Put yourself in a better state.
From KTUL TV in Tulsa, Charles Ely, Carol Lambert, meteorologist Don Woods, and John Walls on sports. This is News 8 at 5.
Good evening, everyone. The cold wave claims a life in Tulsa.
The victim is an elderly woman. Tulsa police say 88-year-old Grace Wallace was found frozen to death.
That's melted today, so that tomorrow be on guard. Certain stretches could look clear and clean tomorrow, but then that nasty slick spot can appear like magic. Watch out for bridges, overpasses, and shaded areas especially. Once again, you'll want to give yourself extra time to get to work in the morning. If you don't have a car to drive to work, you're not alone. There are dozens of vehicles drivers have abandoned alongside the roadways. Some have broken down, others have skidded into ditches. If they pose traffic hazards, Tulsa police will move them out as quickly as possible. If not, you have 24 hours after the weather clears to get your car off the road. Otherwise, police will tow your vehicle off and you pay. Police want to work with people and have been extra patient during this severe storm.
We're going to feel the effects of the storm for quite a while. It's going to mean potholes this spring. That's because the weekend's cold snap came right after a warm spell. That sudden drop in temperatures always causes problems on Oklahoma's roads.
You begin to see it a couple of months after, especially if you have a series of storms of this nature. But it gets underneath the pavement, it gets in the seams and the cracks of the pavement, and generally lessens the strength of the roadway.
Road repairs won't be the only expensive thing to come out of the ice storms. Tulsa County spent everything commissioners had budgeted for sand and salt. The city spent a quarter of its yearly overtime budget for snow removal. And looking at northeastern Oklahoma, the state spent more than $150,000. Crews from PSO are on the roads today. Crews are still trying to repair down lines and transformers. 750 customers are still without electricity because of the ice and snow. At 1,13,000 customers in the Tulsa area were left in the dark. Crews from 4 different states joined in to help restore the power.
In Charles, nowhere was the storm's devastation worse than in the Okmulgee area. A thick glaze of ice knocked out power to more than 4,000 homes. Most of the power should be back on by this time tomorrow. Lauren Farr was in Okmulgee looking at the continuing impact of the storm.
Oh, wait, Okmulgee operations. Let's Okmulgee, go ahead. Cliff, I need a couple of flagmen at this Preston turnoff.
These workers have never seen anything like it. Inches of ice still coat power lines and trees.
John, pick this 3.
An Okmulgee merchant has had more problems than the storm to worry about. After nearly a week, a $25,000 armed robbery has been solved. Okmulgee police have recovered most of the loot, 65 firearms, 12 VCRs, 6 televisions, and a wide range of other merchandise have been taken from the Gibson Discount Center. When the thieves tried to sell the illegal haul, the police were tipped off.
They were already set up to start fencing the stolen property. They had stashed part of it in a mini storage over in Shawnee. Part of it had been dispersed right here locally.
An Okmulgee man, James Dayton Hatley, has been charged with armed robbery. 2 others, including a juvenile, have been taken into custody in connection with the heist. A man who escaped from the Okmulgee County Jail for a few hours of freedom finds himself in a handmade shank or knife when he overpowered a jailer and took a woman hostage. She was released unharmed last night.
A lawsuit now on file in Washington accuses the U.S. Congress of breaking the law. A bill passed last year and endorsed by President Reagan will raise congressional salaries on February 5th. They'll jump from $75,000 a year to almost $90,000. Under that law, the increase will go into effect automatically unless Congress votes it down. Two legislators and the Taxpayers Union filed the lawsuit in protest. They say automatic pay increases violate the Constitution. The U.S. Senate is investigating. An accident cost the U.S. Air Force a valuable test missile today. A modified Minuteman I was launched from Vandenberg Air Force Base in California. It was destroyed when a secret reentry vehicle went out of control. The military won't say much about that test. Reentry vehicles are used for the delivery of nuclear warheads.
The Reagan administration is getting tough on illegal aliens in this country. New rules proposed today would require you to show proof you're a U.S. citizen or in this country legally to get a job. Now, documents could include a passport, a naturalization certificate, social security card, along with a driver's license. The new rules will go through a public hearing period before taking their final shape in mid-April. Today's proposal is the first step for enforcing the landmark immigration bill Congress passed last year.
Coming up, Governor Henry Bellman reveals part of his master plan for the state of Oklahoma.
And local teenagers try to keep their friends from killing themselves. We'll have more.
Coming up on World News Tonight with Peter Jennings, how monkeys are helping quadriplegics help themselves. We'll tell you about a program that matches the two and what they each get out of it. And a Chicago company issues a quit smoking ultimatum to its workers.
Nothing like watching good actors in a good movie, especially when you can do it at home with your feet up.
But if it's music, you better keep your feet on the ground.
I can't stop my legs. But you need your hands when you watch a fight. Got that?
The movies, the stars, the big events, they make HBO 87 the year to watch. And now you can bring it home at very special savings with a special offer coming in your mail. An offer to bring home the box office winners and all-star originals, the chart toppers and the showstoppers. An offer to bring you the choice only cable TV delivers, from headlines to foul lines, pop tunes to cartoons. It's an offer to bring home all this for just 87 cents installation. So watch with this mailer or call today and get in on HBO 87 now.
Use your feet to get to the mailbox, but your hands do the opening.
Then you can watch with your feet up.
Nobody brings it home like HBO 87. It's the year to watch, and the time to get it is now with this very special offer.
If you want to know, my throat is killing me.
This year, the best season's eatings are coming from Louis Rich Breast of Turkey. For a holiday feast, appetizer treats. You see, Louis Rich is all lean white meat, hand-carved and cooked whole from the bird, so it's juicy and delicious. And one goes farther than you can imagine. One taste and you'll know why Louis Rich gets so many invitations around the holidays.
It took Louis Rich to make turkey so right.
A tax cut for business, a shuffle of the state bureaucracy, and a possible new state college for Tulsa. They're all on Governor Bellman's wish list tonight. The governor told a joint session of the legislature he wants to cut the state purse strings on the School of Osteopathy here in Tulsa. Bellman says that same money should go for a four-year college in this city. Some of Bellman's other proposals include cutting the corporate income tax from 5% to 4%. Story tonight that might just warm you up a bit. News 8's consumer specialist Jody Sen says long johns have gone space age. Jody?
Charles, if you thought long underwear meant suffocating in yards of itchy wool, think again. Technology has updated this old-fashioned way to stay warm, and it makes good consumer sense. What you see is a bunch of kids playing in the snow, but what you don't see is what may be keeping them warm underneath. Newfangled long underwear. High tech has now made its way into the long handle market. Keeping dry is keeping warm, a motto that has come a long way. One new wrinkle is specially woven fabrics that give warmth without weight. Thermax is the newest long john on the market. It is made by DuPont, a material designed after the fiber of polar bear fur. Another synthetic fabric is polypropylene. It is a cheaper version of the Thermax. It's chemically treated to draw perspiration away from the skin and disperse it through the fabric. But for real... Yes.
Thank you, Judy. Carol?
As the snow thaws, more students will return to class. Tulsa public schools are expected to be open tomorrow unless more snow falls overnight. Now, at this time, another storm is not expected to hit the city. In other areas, a few schools will still be closed, however. And here is a list of those that have called us and canceled classes for tonight or tomorrow. A number of meetings and other events are also called off for tonight. So your best bet is to call ahead before you hit the road. We'll update our school closing list tonight on News 8 at 10. Join us then.
Don Woods joins us next with tonight's chilly forecast.
And they're still cleaning up the storm damage at a Bristow airfield. Details still ahead.
If you want to lower your energy bills this winter, you can either bundle up or gas gives you more for your money.
I love this country. It's so fun here.
6 airplanes will never leave the runway again because of our recent cold snap. They were stored inside a hangar at Jones Memorial Airport in Bristow. That hangar came down on top of the planes. The weight of the snow on the wide roof of that building was just too much. The damage estimate is about $50,000 for the hangar and about 3 times that much for the planes. Despite the problem, the airport is open for business and flight operations continue.
Well, I know we'd all like these weather problems to melt away. I mean, people still without power, heat.
It's about time to get it cleared around.
Real tough to drive around, too.
We're coming out of it fast. The main roads are clear. Still icy on the side roads, but it is improving, and it's going to continue to improve right through the rest of the week.
Well, that's what we want to hear.
Yeah. It's good news. We have good news tonight. The roads, the weather are going to improve. Let's have a look at the current data right now. It's 33 degrees, humidity 51%, and the wind calm. Pressure 30.31 inches and falling. Now, we look at our satellites, you can see that the clouds are down to the south of us and some out west. The little flurries we expected today stayed out in western Oklahoma, the Panhandle, Texas Panhandle, and are going to drop down to the south of us, leaving us in the clear, which is good news. Instead, we had sunshine today, which was very, very nice. You're off to the east of us. A weak little front to the north that's going to come zipping on through, but that front's only going to hold temperatures steady. It isn't expected to change the temperatures much, just keep them from rising anymore, but there'll still be pleasant. Some showers down in the south. Flurries up in Minnesota, flurries up in the northern New England Great Lakes, New England and the Great Lakes. But in Oklahoma, we're going to have another mostly sunny day tomorrow. The highs tomorrow, once again, in the 40s. We expect right around 40 degrees here, very pleasant weather. And on Thursday, the front getting close, it'll zip on through, but the snow will be to the north, the rain will be to the south, and we'll be left with fair weather. So let's have a look now at our forecast. The forecast looks good. Tonight, partly cloudy, around 20 degrees. That's a cold temperature, but not that bad. Southwest winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. And tomorrow, mostly sunny and 40 degrees. That's a very pleasant temperature. Northwest winds 5 to 15. By tomorrow night, it'll be fair and 20 once again. Those are fairly decent temperatures, and that 40 in the daytime with the sunshine will melt snow fast.
We'll take it.
Happy to hear your forecast tonight.
You bet.
Great.
Thank you, Dan. John Walls is up next with the day's sports.
Including a look at a woman who's a sure shot on and off the court.
I'd like to thank Sonatro for providing me a place to call home, for giving me 3 square meals a day and making it possible to have a nice new wardrobe. Unfortunately, Sonatro was listening with their special sound security system when Joey and I broke into the building. The cops were there before we knew it. I thought I was a pro. These guys at Sonatro are real security professionals. They'll get the security they gave me. Just think what they can do for you.
Sonatro, security professionals.
At Thomas Marine in Shakota, we've been selling quality boats and Evinrude motors for 16 years. Our most popular model is the Kingfisher, a serious fast boat powered by Evinrude. And we're becoming well known for the boats we build. The Predator is the fisherman's choice that's tough as nails. Both our 16 and 18-foot V-pads are self-bailing, have no waste of space, and all our Predators are 100% hand-laminated. We're Thomas Marine, your Evinrude Motors dealer in Shakota.
When you get a cold or an allergy,
you need some herbal tea.
You also get a lot of advice.
What you want to do is feed a cold.
A lot of advice.
Take Judy to call me in the morning.
But the best advice is what doctors have said millions of times. Take Dimetap. Dimetap in non-prescription formulas brings proven relief. So take the advice of doctors and pharmacists.
The tea works.
Huh? And take Dymatap, the best advice you can take.
This weekend, take a trip to Peyton Place, where everyone's favorite hobby is talking.
I got it firsthand. From Mr. Rossi? No, I got it from Kathy, who got it from Betty, who got it from Miss Thornton. I suppose that's firsthand.
After all the webs are spun, the hypocrisy and twisted emotions come to a head in a murder trial.
Except that it happens to be true. Can you testify to this of your own knowledge? I can. I have here a complete admission of guilt.
Watch Peyton Place, Sunday at 2 on KTUL Channel 8.
Now, John Walls in sports, and something a little different for us today.
Something very interesting moving on down Tahlequah way here. A combination, more or less, of some outside activities with sports that make things work very well for a Lady Red down that way. Many athletes have discovered through the years that outside activities, ballet or maybe even aerobics, for example, can help them an awful lot in their...
NSU freshman Regina Smith is quite a force on the basketball court. At 6 feet tall, she'll be a big asset to the Lady Reds.
She's got some post moves, and she's strong enough to rebound and, you know, get some three-pointers on the inside. And it helps, too, knowing that you've got someone 6'1" under there who's not just there just to be there, but there, you know, for a purpose.
Definitely, Regina will get plenty of exposure on the court where she's a sure shot. But Regina takes her shots off the floor, too, giving her...
I like being around people. I like working with people a lot, and I just like it. When I was a freshman, my mom and dad wanted me to go to modeling school, so I went to John Robert Powers in Tulsa and been going there.
And amazingly, the modeling has now helped her basketball.
Yeah, I think it has. Balance is the main thing, and you know, when you go out on the court, you're around a lot of people. You know, people are watching you, but I thought I was going to be real nervous my first game, but it didn't really bother me. I think it helps out a lot.
So then the big question, what does she like more, zoom lenses or full court defenses?
Basketball, definitely. Yeah, I like to play.
After those playing days are over, Regina would like to be working in fashion merchandising. But whatever she does, you can bet on one thing, she'll be a big shot. In Tahlequah, Jack Buns, News 8 Sports.
The music, by the way, that you heard in the beginning of the piece there is from a new single out called Double Exposure. It is written by Channel 8's own Terry Harvey and should be out in the stores around the area later on this week. Thought we'd get in a plug for one of our own who's making pretty good for himself. If you were looking for a tune maybe to match up with last weekend's women's game between OU and Missouri, maybe Saturday night's all right for fighting.
In case girls will be girls.
Girls will be girls, so to speak, yes.
Thank you, John. Will one medical college in Tulsa be phased out while the money goes somewhere else? That's just one of Governor Bellman's new proposals. We'll have details at 6. Plus, those beautiful shade trees in your yard may be the reason your electricity went out during the storm. We'll have those stories and more coming up at 6.
And of course, Don tells us we're going to have some warming weather out there, and while it's still not a great time to get out and drive around, we can at least look forward to having some decent driving, some decent weather in the rest of the week to get some of those things done we may have put off the last few days.
One caution that we did have in our newscast just a little earlier, do watch out for slick spots that may still be around tomorrow if you do get out and drive.
Tonight in the early morning when it's frozen again, it's going to be trouble still.